specifically when he had us do the exercise with one another. What is it that you don't like? And sure enough, everything he said about it was true. I knew what it was, and I'm not comfortable with it, and it is what's holding me back. In my case, I don't like to sell.
Fantastic.
That was really big for me.
So let me ask a question. How many people did that resonate with? Look around. See, here's how your brain knows when you heard one of those nuggets of wisdom, when you got a principle. Here's what a principle is. It's something that's always been true, is true now, always will be true, works for everybody, and works all the time. Is that true?
Yes.
You know how you know that? Your brain just goes, uh-huh. Right? That's what when I explained what a principle is, every one of you went, yeah, exactly, right. So when Brian says something like that, and 95% of the people raise their hands that resonated with them, that's a principle. Principles are like recipes. They work for everybody. They work all the time. If I make the best chocolate cake in the world, I'll give you the recipe, you duplicate it exactly, what are you going to get? A great cake. Exactly, right. So, principles you got here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. What'd you like, what'd you learn?
Continuous learning.
Continuous learning, absolutely. And with iLearning Global, thanks for the plug, you can have that. Listen, here's what iLearning Global, this is for me, I found out about this a couple of weeks after the company launched. Here's what it all boiled down to, because I'm a pretty simple guy. I was a C student in high school on a good day, and there weren't a lot of good days. So, seriously. So, for me, I need to kind of boil it down to the last thing. Imagine being able to sit down in the morning and have that cup of coffee and watch a 10-minute video. For the time that it takes to watch a video and the cost of that, for the time it takes to drink that cup of coffee and the cost of that cup of coffee, you can get nuggets of wisdom like Brian Tracy gave you tonight, day after day after day. Not only from Brian. Brian's got many videos on that, but other masters just like himself. Imagine the compound effect of that over a year. It's been said that if you learn 10 minutes a day, every day, for a year, it's the equivalent of reading 12 books over the course of the year. How many? You don't have to raise your hand. How many of us ever read 12 books every single year? Now you can do that while you're having your cup of coffee in the morning, because you're going to have it anyway, aren't you? What'd you like? What'd you learn? Go ahead.
I love the quote he gave from my friend Harv, where he says, every master was once a disaster.
Yeah, I love that too. Isn't it great that the quotes make you remember? I like to write them down all the time. Thank you. What'd you like? What'd you learn?
It's okay to fail.
Yeah, it's absolutely imperative, because we all have to fail to get better. Absolutely, that's great. Thank you. What'd you like? What'd you learn?
Time management is a skill. That's what I learned.
Absolutely. So that's good news, isn't it? It's not like genetic and you didn't get the gene. How cool is that? What'd you like? What'd you learn, Michelle?
Your most valuable asset is your earning ability.
Earning capacity. Everybody starts at the same place. That's the good news. Go ahead.
Entertainment versus education.
Yeah. Did everybody write that down? EVE, education, entertainment versus education. You know what? Do that exercise for yourselves, folks. No matter what else you do, just figure out, like, what do you spend in the course of a month on entertainment versus education? It will scare you enough to go buy a book or join ILG. I hope. What'd you like? What'd you learn?
Takes knowledge as well.
Commitment to your
Let me get right back to you. Ladies before gentlemen, is that okay? Okay, Ian, go ahead.
commitment to your excellence puts you into the top 20%.
Commitment. Thank you. Yeah, I tell all my students that commitment has a definition. It's doing what you said you do long after the emotion you said it in wears off. Try that on sometimes. How do most people make commitments? Yeah, I'll do that as long as nothing comes up. Ladies and gentlemen, something's always going to come up, isn't it? Yeah, it's called the challenge, and you have to have a challenge to get over and have success. The definition of success is getting over the challenges. Write that down and check that out. See if that's not true.
It takes knowledge as well as action. So you have to study as well as not just go after something.
Right, yeah. And you find people who do nothing but keep on learning, right? And they don't do anything with the action. They don't do anything, don't take the actions, and that doesn't get you there either. It's 1 + 1 equals success. Right, great. What'd you like? What'd you learn?
Practice if it's impossible to fail.
Yeah. Think about that for a second. Did that resonate with anybody else? Oh my gosh, just take a second now and think about what you would do if it was absolutely impossible to fail. Probably things that you don't do right now that would get you further closer towards your goals, right? Amazing. You know, Jim Rohn's one of my favorite speakers. Anybody know who Jim Rohn is? Yeah, and Brian actually quotes Jim on his website, actually. I saw the other day, he quotes Jim on his website, which I think is remarkable. If you don't know who Jim is, go get one. Go to the library, get one of his tape sets. It's awesome. But Jim says, the saying is, it's an apple a day, not 7 on Sunday. The sayings that Brian gave you tonight and ones like that are simple but profound at the same time. And when you think about the most profound stuff you've ever heard that's changed your life, it's actually pretty simple, isn't it? Isn't it usually? Yeah. So I'm sure Brian didn't say anything tonight that any of you haven't heard before in one fashion or another. You know, we're not high school or junior high people here, or grammar school people. You guys have all been around the block. I mean, look at you. No, seriously, that's the good news. You have enough experience to know when a man like Brian Tracy walks on stage and he says stuff to you, you know when you've heard a principle, when you hear it. So that's great. What'd you like, what'd you learn? Please.
I like the ability to control the sequence of events.
Yeah, life is cause or effect. You could cause the effect. You're in charge. Master, you know, philosophers have been saying that to us forever, right? You're the master of your fate. People like Brian, they actually tell you how to become the master of your fate. Did you hear him say how tonight, ladies and gentlemen? There's a lot of people telling you, you know, you can be the master of your fate, but you need to know how, don't you? There's a man that knows how. Thank you. Go ahead.
The concept that I'm actually paying my boss to supervise me.
Ooh, was that painful for anybody else to know that? She said the concept that I'm actually paying my boss to manage me. Right? Yeah. Wow. It's true though. Let me go here and then I'll go there. Go ahead.
Everything is hard before it.
Wow. Thank you.
It doesn't matter where you're coming from, it matters where you're going.
Exactly. Yeah. Doesn't matter how fast you're going as long as you go in the right direction either. Yeah, I used to work with Anthony Robbins. Anybody know who Tony Robbins is? Yeah. Tony used to say, you know, you can run as fast as you want west, and you're never going to see a sunrise. So you can work really hard with the wrong strategy and never get there. So, yeah. And you can even move slow in the right direction and get there before the guy is running in the wrong direction. Probably. Michelle.
Have clear written goals and know what your 3 to 5 core values are and the order of importance. I think you know a little bit about that one.
Thanks, Michelle. Appreciate that. Way back in the back.
In order to grow, you have to fight your constraints. You have to
Say it really loud. So that's a good one.
In order to grow, you have to kind of fight your constraints. You have to confront your fears.
And you have to know what they are. Do you ever notice when you go to the gym to exercise to make your muscles bigger, what do you do to what are you actually doing to your muscles? Challenging them, right? No challenges, no growth. You have to know what those things are, what your challenges are, and then confront them. That's how you confront the weight, right? Same thing. Thank you. We had one more. Go ahead.
You can learn anything you need to hit your goals.
So it's not genetic? I'm okay? I didn't get any of those genes. I didn't get the time management gene. Thank you. You can learn anything you need to know. Prayers have feet. Okay? Actually, what I think he said was similarly, right? He said, pray and then move your feet.
Right.
Right, exactly. Right. Good. Thank you, though. I like that. Right here and then right there. Go ahead.
If you want to increase your income, you have to increase your value.
Say it really loud. That's a good one.
If you want to increase your income, you must increase your value.
What makes us think we should get paid more when our value is the same as it was last year? Very good. Excellent. Thank you. Go ahead.
The importance and instituting this discipline for ourselves, getting enough sleep.
Yeah, getting enough sleep. Boy, that's a challenge. When you have something you're really passionate about, gets you up early, keeps you up late, so I have to fight that one. Because I got some stuff I'm passionate about. Yeah. Oh, we got right here.
Sure. Be clear about what you want. Most importantly, be flexible about how to achieve it.
Wow. Was that a revelation for anybody? Be clear on what you want, but be flexible about how to get it. How many times does I've got a friend of mine that says you always have to have a plan, but it's never going to go as planned. But you got to have a plan. Is that true? Be flexible in the plan, but not the outcome. Brian talked a lot about values tonight, and that's something that's very dear to me because I talk a lot about it with my classes. If you don't understand what your values are, then you can't set reasonable goals. Things that, and I don't mean reasonable like easy to attain. I mean goals that matter to you. You have to know what your values are. And a value is a feeling that you need to have in order to feel fulfilled and complete. So when you are really clear, I was so glad he talked about values tonight. When you're really clear about your values, then you set goals in alignment with that, and then it'll almost suck you into your future when you align like that. It's like magic. Thank you. Who else? What'd you like, what'd you learn? Joe?